Hey, Wedding MBA, I'm Laurette.
And I'm Lori Spike. How are you today?
I'm from the Bridal Extravaganza in Houston, Texas.
And I would visit the venue in Houston, Texas.
And we have teamed up and we have created a 7-week mastermind series that we offer to all the vendors at the Bridal Extravaganza to help them succeed at our show.
This mastermind goes in depth, but we're going to cut it down from 7 to just one short talk to allow our vendors and your vendors coming to the show that want to know why some vendors succeed at a show and others do not.
This will be jam-packed with our best tips, and I think you're going to love it, and I think it's something that Wedding MBA has never had and should have.
And we're excited to be there. We're excited to meet with everybody and be on stage and help you promote the Wedding MBA here in Houston, even more than it's already known.
So thank you, and pick us.
Pick us.
And you all are so excited. You're like the parents that wrap the gifts and you're waiting for them to open it. So that's why I'm here today, because I really I'm excited about the Bridal Extravaganza. I'm excited to see vendors who I know several of you in the room elevate what they do and to work one-on-one with the couples. So without further ado, shall we get started?
Let's do it.
So first of all, today is Wedding Pro Mastermind, and Laurette and I have put this together for your benefit, and please know that you can stop and ask us anything. We're here for you, okay? Is anybody warm or is it just me? Is it middle-aged? It's warm, Denise too. Okay. Guys, I'm gonna try really hard to make sure I know what I'm doing here. So standing out in a crowded room. Standing out in a crowded room is really the first problem that we all have as wedding planners, okay? And here's why. We spend money on Google Ads, and I heard y'all talk about that this morning. We spend money on social media. We spend money on things such as the Wedding Wire, the Knot, and we look at the show. And we spend lots of money on the show because we want to make our booth, what? Stand out, right? We want to stand out in the crowd. The problem is that we're doing the same thing that everybody else is doing, so we're not standing out, we're blending in. And I have a few secrets for you of some things that you can do to stand out in the crowd, okay? So we're gonna get started really quick here. The problem is that on Facebook and Instagram and things like that, we're sharing the same thing. We're sharing pictures, and we're sharing, y'all, and I'm not gonna be ugly. Let me give a little house cleaning. I am very abrupt and I can make people cry, but I'm not doing it in an ugly way. I'm just doing it so that you understand what I hear from couples. I work with couples every day, all day long. And then on the flip side, I work with vendors. So I'm just giving you the information that they give me to give back to you. And unfortunately, we try to give it back in a really kind way, and I want to do that, but then you don't hear me. So, so here's what I have to say. The problem is we're sharing, but we do a post on Instagram. Who's on Instagram? Who's not on Instagram? Who doesn't understand social media? Really? Okay. So no, none of us understand it, and then the minute you do, it's going to change. So that's the first thing. So when we're posting, we have to post things that attract our couples. And a picture of a pretty couple with a love quote is going to be scrolled by. It's not about them. They don't care. Okay? So that's the first thing. So let me just be really honest with that. So how do you stand out in a crowd? Well, standing out in a crowd starts at the beginning. And in order to stand out in a crowd, you have to know your crowd. So who are you marketing to? Can everybody still hear me? So who are you marketing to? So you're marketing to couples, brides, grooms, brides and grooms. And most of them are the age between 24 and 39 years old. It's a fun age. It's an exciting age. They're finishing up their college, they've gone into their career, or some of them are actually into their career. They may have gotten started a little earlier. That being said, if you know them, then you know how to work with them. They're unlike us. If you're over 40 or 50, guess what? You probably raised one, or you're raising a millennial. I have sorry and you're welcome all at the same time, guys. So I am going by my notes this morning because we do have a lot. So let me just share with you a little bit more. Most couples attending the show are millennials and Gen Zs, so you will see lots of those. And your Gen Zers, yes, they're ready to get married. Yikes, right? So who are you marketing to? So who we're marketing to are couples who are recently engaged, duh, or who have been engaged for a while, right? But now they're ready to plan. So we call those buy now and buy later. So what I hear a lot from vendors, what Lorette hears from vendors, and I've heard a lot, is I didn't get anything from the show. And I want to call Nate out because one time he mentioned this in another master class. Just because you didn't get anything that day, that week, doesn't mean they're not invested in who you are, right? Do we know that? Okay. Because some people are buy later. They're just scoping out. They want to know what's going on, all right? So keep that in the back of your treasure box back here. So when you get discouraged, please don't, all right? The next slide is, believe it or not, our millennials and Gen Zers are really about meeting face to face. We've just gone through this pandemic and they have lived online, they work online, they work from home, they buy online, they do everything online. But they go to the bridal show to meet you face to face. They want a feeling for how you are, what you look like, how you sound, and more importantly, how can you be their dream maker? So do all of y'all realize that what you do, regardless if you're a DJ or a photographer or you own a venue, your real title is dream maker. So you're taking a couple's dream for their day and you're making it come true. And that's really it. The wedding business isn't about us, it's about that couple that's standing right in front of you today. You are the dream maker, okay? So face to face for your style, your personality, and their main goal. Their main goal is to go to this. And who are you marketing to? So Lorette did the gifts, however you say it. We have a friend that says if you say gift, you're saying it wrong. If you say gif, and I'm like the peanut butter? And she's like, yeah. So she's a millennial and we let her be, okay? So they're there to spend money, regardless if you believe it or not. I hear people all the time say, they're there for a special. Aren't we all? Aren't we all going to shop for a special? How many, I don't know if you're in the room or not, how many bought a mattress or something for Mattress Mac?
Can I tell my story?
Tell your story.
Not this World Series, but the last World Series. I'm at Game 7. I'm devastated. Obviously, we lose. And about 10 minutes later, I was like, oh, the mattress. Right? That mattress was free. Like, it was free. It was gonna be like for sure.
Right. So we're all for a special. Now they're not there for a special. They're to meet you. They're there to meet you to plan their wedding. Just remember that. If you think they want a special, of course they want a special. They want to get everything they can for the best price. And aren't we all? Aren't we all, right? Aren't we all? Do you have to give it? No. Because those who don't give it and actually give quality service are the ones who win. That's how you stand out. That's my first secret, right? Okay, so they're going to spend money. How much money are they going to spend? So even though we're in that, I hate this word, recession, whatever you want to call it, I'm not a financer, I'm sure there's people that are going to correct me, and please do. They're still only going to spend in 2023 and probably 2024, they're probably still spending $33K. But what's going to happen is, as you all, as providers, services, and venues, have to raise your prices because gas goes up, employees cost, things of that nature, they're going to leave some things off the table that they really wanted. We'll talk about that in later, because that's a whole nother mastermind that we'll be discussing, okay? But just keep this in your mind. So for visit the venues, and I'll go with it really quickly. For visit the venues, I know that every couple that comes to me is probably going to spend between 20 to 60K. They always tell me, oh, we want to spend $20 20,000. I'm like, oh, okay. Well, this is what you get for 20,000. Exactly. Say it again, Richard. Say it again. Yeah, right. Oh my God. Okay. So then I show them what 20,000 looks like, and then they go, I'm like, for what you want, this is the price. And I don't inflate it. I don't believe in that. I was a wedding planner too long. Okay. So I'm not inflating prices. I'm telling them that you can get a photographer from this price to this price. Okay. Or you can get, and florist is really hard because flowers go up and down, and God, y'all know, right? You can go from here to here. Venues can stable out, but it's what you offer. So I try to share as much of that information before when we're doing their budgets. So that's just something I share. So just, and we're pretty sticking close to the 33K, pretty much, and that's for about 125 to 150 people. If they tell me they have 175, I'm just like, we're going up, okay? So, who are you marketing to? They are, everybody say it with me, 1, 2, 3.
Overwhelmed.
Oh, come on, y'all can do better than that. Overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed by who they are. They're overwhelmed by what they're doing. They're overwhelmed by everything flying at them. It's like they're going down the freeway the opposite way, and all these people in cars are coming to them. Photographers and DJs, and they don't know who to pick. So, they're overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed by task and information, which we've already talked about. They're overwhelmed by Instagram. They're overwhelmed by the wedding wire and not. They're overwhelmed by magazines. They're overwhelmed, they're overwhelmed, they're overwhelmed. So we got that, right? So I want to introduce you to millennials. Who has millennials in this room? You are a millennial, but you're the exception. She's an elder, she's an old soul. This is Brittany. She's an elder. So if you don't know her, she is. People that I know, I pick on people that I don't, I'll get to you. Okay. So, like a true millennial, where are they? I'm going to do it on the phone. You will notice when they're at the show, and they come by you, when they walk away, they're on their phone. I'm going to tell you why. Does anybody know why? They're looking at you. Yeah, they're trying to see what you're doing, right? They're trying to see what you're about. So 1981 to 1996 is our millennial age group, and they grew up on Instagram. They grew up on Instagram. Okay? You're always raining on my parade. I was never saw that. They did. My daughter had a MySpace. I had a dial-up telephone.
Because MySpace doesn't exist. Only reason I changed it.
Yeah.
Quick point. Touche,
So,
Alex.
I
Thank you.
had a dial-up telephone. Oh, but we did have pagers, y'all. We have pagers. Okay. So millennials meet the generation. Digital pioneers grew up alongside the internet. They've lived without it, but they're pretty close to it. Some of them never did. Okay. Focus. We have a focus problem in this country. Big time. Here's why. Their attention span is 12 seconds, and I actually think I just read a review that it is 8 seconds for millennials and 6 to 7 for Gen Zers. Crazy, y'all. We have 8 seconds to do a song and dance to get them to pay attention to stand out in the crowd. Okay, so social media is a must. They are checking you out on Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok, and Google. Who doesn't believe that? Yes, they are now, our millennials are going to LinkedIn, and LinkedIn has elevated their game. You can do some advertisement, you can do blogging. I have not gotten into it yet because, we are bombarded with things we have to do as wedding pros. So I think as a wedding pro, you have to pick according to what is out there and what your couples want, and then focus on that. If you focus on too much, you lose out. If you've got, I've got to post over here, and I've got to post over here, and I've got to post over there, then you're not doing anything quality, you're just doing it, okay? Yes?
Sorry. So now the business suite for Meta does, like you can start one place and it'll do it. Do you recommend doing it that way?
Yes, I do. So I do recommend advertising or working on, do Facebook, it's Meta Business. Does everybody have a Meta Business account set up and linked to their website? Wow, I'm seeing deer in the headlights. Okay, talk to me after the show. We'll chat about it. I'll also try and get some information to each of you, okay? All right. So, the me generation. I've had, Brady, close your ears. So I've had people, and I have them. I just want to lock my three in the closet and put a sign on the door and say, it is not about you people. It is about other people in this world. So it is the me generation. Their weddings are about that. I had a bride one time, it was pouring down rain, and here's what she said: I don't care if it's raining. I don't care if my people get wet. I don't have umbrellas. I'm getting married outside in front of that lake. I'm like, girlfriend, you are not sugar. You are gonna melt. You know? So we did it. People complained, and I was the worst wedding planner ever. And I got 5 bad reviews because I had to follow what the bride said, which I always did, or tried to. So that happens. Okay, they're getting married at 32, so they're smarter. They get it. They're not getting married, not all of them. Most of them, we're seeing most get married at age 32, which is a great thing because they have their own money. And when they have their own money, they also get to say what they want at their weddings. Now, they take mom and dad's advice, but let me tell you how many generation there is. I did 5 weddings last year. That was it, because wedding planning is not what I do anymore. One of them happened to be my niece. Her daddy paid $80,000 for her wedding. Do you know whose name she put on the wedding invitation?
Hers.
And her husband's. My sister-in-law called me up and said, why is my name on the wedding invitation? I said, see your daughter. She goes, well, it's my wedding.
The mom?
The mom called me, who's my sister-in-law, by the way. So I said, I told her I wrote it ethically because I'm all about Emily Post. I can do everything etiquette. But she said, this is our wedding, not our parents. Both parents were very hurt. But I'm seeing it more and more as we work with brides and do things. They ask, what do I put on my wedding invitation? And I tell them, well, who's paying for your wedding? My parents. But we're getting married. So that's an example.
Really, really pretty.
Huh?
They were both really, really pretty.
They were pretty. She's beautiful. She's all over the place. I love her. She's still a brat though, but she's not a brat. Okay. So Gen Z, meet the generation, 1997 to 2012. Yep, they're getting married. Okay. They're digital natives. They don't know anything but what's in front on the internet. Everything. We gave them iPads when they were a few days old and said, here, entertain yourself. You know, here's ABC Mouse. You can learn to spell your name. And they purchase based on a couple of things. They purchase on brands. They love brands. I won't go with a brand because I'm not getting affiliate links from brands, but what they love more than brands, they love influencers. If you are in the wedding business and you own, which everybody in this room is, you are an influencer. Now, are you influencing for good? Are you influencing for evil? Are you just getting lost in the crowd? So, this is who your people are. You are an influencer and they like brands. And your brand is important. So I'm going to ask you this. What is your brand? What is your brand saying on Facebook, Instagram, social media, and your website? How is your brand coming across to couples? Are you a scrolling brand? Are you the one and stop and go, ooh, I like this? So think about your brand, look at your brand. And when I talk about brand, I'm talking colors, the verbiage you use. I'm talking everything. What are you focusing on? Who are you focusing on? Now, every couple is not your niche. Every couple is not your dream couple. So figure out who your dream couple is. And we'll go on deeper into this into another. But look at your reviews and those who talked amazingly about you, pick out things that they said, those are your dream couples, okay? All right, so you have 8 seconds. I'm gonna give you 6. So you guys, you know what? So just think about riding a bull. You gotta stay on 8 seconds to win. Just put that in the back of your mind, right? However, that 8 seconds if you do reels, can now be on TikTok, or actually reels aren't on TikTok, but TikTok, if you do TikTok, if you do Instagram reels, now Facebook has them, you can keep them entertained for hours. It's almost like ABC Mouse all over again, you know? So our Barney, they'll go on and on and on and on. Also, YouTube is another way. So show that you're an influencer and that you're an authority. They need to know that you're an authority in what you do. If you're an authority, they'll listen to you. And how do you become an authority? They're the we generation. We want everybody involved. I think recently we just saw that when you've heard people talk about voting. They want everything to be fair. They want everything to be community. So they're the we generation, and their weddings, they want to include everybody. So one of the things you're going to start seeing is bigger wedding parties, because they're best friend, and sisters and brothers and grandparents. You know, I love one of the great trends that they're doing now. Grandparents, we started a long time ago, but grandparents are flower girls and ring bearers. So that is our we generation doing that. That is our we generation. So, did I jump? Yeah, okay. So 81% prefer Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok reels. If this is not where you're focusing, focus there. And I'm going to say this the best way I know how. And I want to say this right because I wrote it this morning and I thought it was really important. And yes, I wrote this morning. I've been thinking about it for 12 days, but I wrote this morning. They love Instagram, YouTube, and Reels. You can do a lot with 8 seconds. The first 8 seconds will make a grab their attention. Now guys, I don't mean get on there and dance. Don't be a fool. Sorry, that's not word I shouldn't say. What? I should dance? You do not want me to dance. I do a lot of things, but dance is not my forte.
You'll get a lot of views.
Huh? I would get a lot of views, but I'm not about being made fun of either. So, and don't go on your reel and say, hi, I'm Lori with this venue. And yes, I've done it and I'm guilty. Start right out with your problem. What is the problem that you solve for brides? Are you looking for a beautiful venue in Caldwell, Texas that has 60 sleeping rooms? Do you want a destination wedding in Texas? What just happened? Who's interested in a wedding venue in Caldwell, Texas that has 60 sleeping rooms in here? And they do tiny houses. What? Guess what? Be in a tiny house and show them your tiny house. You've got nothing. Especially if you're interested in that. And we're all about tiny houses now, by the way. I'm excited. I want one so I don't have to clean it anymore. Okay. They make purchases on mobile. The majority of the purchases are for their mobile phones. And guys, I don't know what this is to Gen Z. They have a fear of missing out, right? Everybody has a fear of missing out. You forgot about me. So they want to be included. And here's how I include my couples. Here's how we include our business venues couples, and here's how we include you, so we're not leaving you all out. We make sure, and they're spending their time on all these things: TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Pinterest, Facebook, YouTube, Google, podcasting, and email. Who email markets? I know, thank you. Who email markets? Who has a subscribe for something on their website? Okay, good. You guys are doing right. Where do couples spend their time? Is this any of y'all, you and your husband? One's on an iPad, one's on the phone. I got the TV going, I'm still doing this. And he's like, are you not interested in this show? No, I'm watching this Yellowstone. What's the problem? He's like, well, you're in your phone. Well, I can do 2 things at once. I'm a wedding planner, I'm a multitasker. And he laughs because he's on the other end looking at land for something. Yeah, so this is where our couples are. They're not much different than us, right? So where you're marketing, organic IG, Instagram, which I was told the other day by a 6-year-old, y'all. And here's what she said. Graham, are you posting on the gram? And I said, what? And I said, the gram? She goes, you know, Instagram. I'm like, look, hot mess. You know? So yeah, they call it the gram. So just so y'all know, it's called the gram, okay? So ads on social. So who is doing ads on social media? Yep. Great. Are you boosting?
Yes.
Stop.
Well,
No.
doing for, not
Nope.
doing.
Run ads with keywords. Run ads with keywords. If you haven't had, it's called SEMrush. Get on there and look for keywords. Make your keywords very personalized to who you are. If you are a white farmhouse, make that keyword white farmhouse in Houston, Texas, or Montgomery, or Caldwell. You know why? Because that's what they're searching for. They're not searching for happy couple gets married and goes on an ocean cruise and gets farm. Y'all really, can I just like, so you have to remember they're smart, they're very smart. Google ads, hire somebody. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not gonna sell you anybody. I have a guy, I'll give you his name, but they are hard. And Google is difficult. Google's difficult. Facebook ads are too, but I've learned, and I'll be happy to teach you what I learned, but I'm not an expert, okay? Email marketing, and here's where we're gonna go. Everyone in here, everybody, I don't care what you do, subscribe, and then they give you their name and you give them something. And here's what you give them. You show them that you're an expert in something. Do you have a bridal salon in here? No? I have a caterer. Okay, I'm gonna pick on you for a minute, Michelle, okay? Because you love me and you like me every once in a while. Okay. 5 tips to hiring a caterer. 5 things you should know about making or choosing food or choosing your menu. Help me out here. Choosing your menu. Okay. If you give them that, you got something a lot more valuable than the time it took you to write that email that you're already an expert for. I love one of the ones for the photographers. What to wear on your engagement session. Are 5 places to have your engagement photo session. You give them that, they give you their name, phone number, or name and email address. And guys, make sure you're doing first name and last names, okay? Because you may have a lot of Michelles or a lot of Marilyns, a lot of Lori's or things like that, and you want to personalize it. And then you put that in a little thing called Flowdesk. And I'll give you a link to Flowdesk and things like that. Here's what Flowdesk does. Once you get one email, Flowdesk automatically allows them to download your guide or your 5 suggestions or your 5 tips or whatever. After that, you should have a workflow set up into Flowdesk, and with that, every couple of days they get it. It takes 12 emails for somebody to be interested in you. I'm going back to my buy later brides. So bride comes to bridal extravaganza, she scans you, she's not getting married for a year or 2 years, right? So here's what's gonna happen with that. They get married, they scan it, but they get emails from you every few weeks, or maybe even once a month. I always taper down to once a month after I keep hitting them a little bit, but I give them nurturing emails, but I also always sell. I'm always selling. Buy now, book now, schedule now. If you're a florist, you've got a million ways. Flowers of the month, y'all. Bouquets and what you should do. So there's a lot. And I have some things and I'll work with you on it. But honestly, that way you have a gold mine. You have their name. And a lot of people go, well, what if they unsubscribe? Okay, well that's just one LS email you put out. Or what if they don't? So if they don't unsubscribe and they got married 2 years ago, guess what? Everybody that gets married has friends that are getting married, right?
And can I throw in a comment on unsubscribe?
Yeah.
I had a very smart person say to me once, unsubscribe is the best thing that could ever happen because you always are fearful, what if your emails aren't going out, right? There's so many blockers and cloud and this and that. So a few unsubscribes every time kind of lets you know the message is really getting out there, and maybe they've made a decision. So if they've made a decision and moved on and they've already hired their DJ and they unsubscribe, that's the best thing that could happen to you. So some people think it's a horrible thing, it's not.
No, it's not a bad thing. But also, just remember that work on your headlines because you want them to open the email. They may not open it right away, but they will open it. But again, you got to stand out in the crowd. And I guarantee you, 97% of wedding pros do not do this. Retail stores do it. I get one every day. Here's the deal.